My friends, hello. What a fantastic week for all of us that love Palantir and put a lot of freaking money in this stock. Man, it was a good week to not be sweating, and good news is still coming down the pipeline with what is going on with this company. And let's talk about what happened this week and what we can look forward to going into next week. So Palantir held strong this week. Honestly, this was a amazing week for Palantir. This was probably the best week Palantir has had, and I say that because it held its ground all week. It beat the market every day. It was beating expectations. Bulls were coming after it, but it continued to beat. It even broke over the $17 threshold this week into almost hitting a 17 and 10 cent change. Didn't make it to that, but it was darn near close. So this was a fantastic week. So a round of applause for all of us that are still holding Palantir. So let me say this first too, is that the main thing right now that I want to say is, obviously I've been saying this a little bit, but I am a long-term investor in general. I am a long-term investor in Palantir specifically. I'm not buying, selling, and trading right now Palantir. I'm not trying to make K here, make K there. That's not what I'm doing. I am looking for Palantir for the next few years. And one of the main reasons is because of what we know to be happening with this company. Obviously, if you don't know, you should know. You probably know, but here's what's happening. That Palantir has had these major deals that it has taken on. We're talking over $1 billion in deals just in the past few months, plus all the other just side deals that Palantir really hasn't even told us about, because they said they're busier than ever, and just that they are pushed up against the wall right now with trying to fulfill orders and please customers, which is fantastic. That's what you want to hear. Those are the things you want to hear, that business is booming when you're putting money into a company. One thing that I have been spreading like the gospel is that Palantir will be having their quarterly here in August, along with a lot of other companies. August is going to be a big month for a lot of companies. Palantir will be, I believe, it will probably be one of the biggest stocks in the August quarterlies coming up here just in a couple of weeks. Listen, this is just me. I don't have proof of this. This is just me. I'm just saying this. Don't put millions of dollars into Palantir just because of what I'm yapping about right here. But I personally believe that Palantir will hit $20 here by August 1st, somewhere in the beginning of August, just on the hype alone of it having amazing quarterlies. Because here's probably logistically what is going to happen more than not. We're pretty confident. Everyone at this point is pretty confident. Palantir obviously has these new deals, plus all these other little side deals that, I said. Palantir has already been showing better quarterlies before these deals. Now that we have these new deals in place, we should start to see a little bit of cheddar roll in here from them. So if Palantir comes out with blown away expectation quarterlies here, Palantir, believe it's going to stay a $20 stock. $20 will be the new low, and $25 will be the new high, and it will play from a $20 to $25 mark if it does well. And that's like just if it does, beats expectations. It could do something more. Now, if it just meets expectations or comes below that, more than likely Palantir will probably play around a $12 to $14 to $15 stock here, because people are still going to be waiting on the January quarterlies to wrap up, the rest of this year, what happened. So I don't think it's a death sentence for Palantir regardless, but the issue that I think the majority of people need to be worrying about right now is that even if Palantir doesn't make amazing quarterlies, which we think it's going to, that is the majority opinion right now, from what numbers we know to be coming, is that Palantir is going to become a very expensive stock here. We're not buying Palantir at $8 anymore. We're probably not going to be buying Palantir for $14 to $15 here much longer. We might have a bad day next week, who knows? But here's another scenario that we really need to think about right now, is that Palantir does have these amazing quarterlies, and then they get another huge deal on top of that. That would skyrocket Palantir into new numbers to where it would just be ridiculous at that point. You know, I'm not talking like $100 or anything, but I'm saying we could be talking about high 20s, 30s, something like that. Those are not crazy numbers when you're talking about a company that's already bringing in massive revenue with a B in front of it. We're not talking about M, we're talking about billions of dollars here that'll be coming in here over the next few years alone that we already know about. When you're a long-term investor, these are things that you're looking for. These are breadcrumbs that you are looking for as an investor. I see a lot of people asking the question, is it too late to buy Palantir? I'm going to be completely honest, I'm still putting money here and there into Palantir because my threshold level with Palantir has not been met yet. You know, even at $20, I still think if Palantir continues to go into the rest of this year, especially into next year, we're going to continue to see deals. And here's the other thing too, that if Palantir does have amazing quarterlies here coming up where it starts showing signs of what's happening, don't be surprised to see another investment firm to walk in here and say, hey, we're going to buy X amount of shares of Palantir, which will be another huge bump in the stock. So personally, do I like paying $15, $16, $17 a share for Palantir right now? No, I don't. But what my cost effective, what I'm thinking of with Palantir, I'm looking into the next 5 years with Palantir. Obviously, Palantir has a lot of crazy numbers surrounding it with what people think it could possibly be. And if you've looked at AI companies that have already had a head start past Palantir here, we're talking about companies that are sitting at $100, $200, $300, some of them on their way to $400 right now with their stock price. So it would be a little crazy to say that we're expecting Palantir to just hit 20 and bottom out. I think 20 is just the start and potential of what we could see with this new big quarterly that we should be seeing here in August. So friends, listen, the news is out there with what's going on with Palantir. Right now, I believe that we're going to continue to see a steady walk up with Palantir. I believe even on a bad day will be a buy day. When we see it sell off, we'll see it buy back in heavier. That's what we're seeing right now. And that's what everybody's even been saying, you know. When Palantir has these sell-off days, it's going to come back even harder. And this week was a pretty telltale sign what was going on here, that people were not getting rid of it. They were holding on to it. People were getting scared of selling it in massive amounts, because I think a lot of people probably, you know, Monday, Tuesday, they sold off thinking, well, you know, we're probably not going to see a 17. I'm going to go ahead and sell, and we're probably going to fall back down to a 14, 13. Well, 14, 13 never came. It never showed up. It was far from it. So, you know, next week, yeah, we could be talking about 17, 18. That's very well possible. And the fun thing about right now with Palantir essentially is like you have, you know, a bobber in the water with a huge piece of meat attached to it, and, you know, you're waiting for it to get bit, because Palantir could have another company walk in and say, hey, we're going to give you, you know, because Palantir can have another company walk in and say, hey, we're going to give you $500 million for, you know, a year and a half, 2 years, whatever, for your service. So that could very well happen again to Palantir, which would just be, you know, a cherry on top of the cake right now. So friends, I'm wishing everyone luck here. Let me know what you think about Palantir. You know, I'm not going to go over. I know people get like upset when I don't like go over like a candlestick chart or, you know, what's going on with the chart. I'm not day trading Palantir here right now. We're looking at Palantir for the long run here, for a long-term investment play. And right now, it's a slow-moving process, but it is a sturdy process that's happening right in front of us. And listen, I'm calling Palantir probably going to $20 here in August. Hopefully I'm not eating my words, but I think before quarterly's coming out, I think 17, I think that's pretty obvious. That's kind of just easy to say. But 18, 19, 20, those numbers are coming here sooner than we probably think. So, you know, if you're already in it, you're in it, and it's a wonderful day and a wonderful thing that's going to be happening here. So friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.